Fellas, let me tell you something. Women notice everything. Even when you think they're not paying attention, trust me, they are. The way you walk, your confidence, how you interact with others, it all gets clocked. And here's the thing. Some women won't come right out and say how they feel, but their actions? Oh, they'll tell you everything you need to know. Today, we're breaking down the 8 clear signs that you're a real head-turner for the ladies. These are the subtle but powerful signals that you're leaving a lasting impression without even realizing it. And here's the kicker. Sign number 7? Most guys completely miss it, but it's one of the biggest giveaways that she's into you. So stick around, you don't want to miss this. Let's dive in. Sign 1. You catch their glance more than once. Let's start with one of the most subtle yet powerful signs. You catch her glance not once, but multiple times. A single glance? That could be a coincidence. Maybe you were just in her line of sight, or she was scanning the room. But when it happens again, and then again, that's when you know something's up. This isn't just casual curiosity. This is attraction in motion. Think about it. When someone catches your attention, it's almost instinctual to look their way. It's not something you plan or even realize you're doing. For women, this can be a quiet way of saying, "You've got my attention," without ever having to say a word. It's like a silent conversation happening through eye contact. For example, imagine you're at a coffee shop sitting at a table minding your own business. You notice a girl at another table glance your way. At first, you brush it off. Maybe she's just looking around. But then, a few minutes later, it happens again. And then, as you're about to leave, you catch her looking one more time. That's not random, my friend. That's visual chemistry. What's happening here is that something about you, your energy, your vibe, the way you carry yourself, is standing out to her. It's not just about looks, it's the whole package. Maybe it's the confidence in your posture, the way you're dressed, or even the way you're interacting with others. Whatever it is, it's enough to make her notice you more than once. And here's the kicker. This kind of repeated glance isn't always conscious. She might not even realize how often she's looking your way. It's instinctual, almost like her mind is drawn to you before she even has time to process it. Sign 2. They fix their posture when you walk in. Here's a fun one. Your presence changes the energy in the room. One of the most telling signs that you're an eye-catcher is when women adjust their posture the moment you walk in. Picture this. You walk into a room. Maybe it's a classroom, a lounge, or a party. You notice a girl who was previously slouched in her chair, maybe scrolling on her phone or chatting with friends. But as soon as you step in, she straightens up. Her shoulders go back, her posture becomes more upright, and she might even smooth out her clothes or fix her hair. These small, seemingly casual actions are often unconscious signals that she wants to look her best in front of you. It's not always about vanity, it's about attraction. When someone catches your attention, you naturally want to present yourself in the best possible light. For women, this might mean adjusting their posture, subtly fixing their makeup, or even checking their reflection in their phone. It's their way of saying, "I see you and I want you to see me at my best." And it's not just about physical adjustments. Sometimes it's about the energy they project. A girl who was previously quiet and reserved might suddenly become more animated when you're around. She might laugh a little louder, engage more in conversations, or even position herself in a way that makes her more noticeable to you. These changes might seem small, but they're incredibly telling. They show that your presence has sparked something in her, whether it's curiosity, attraction, or a mix of both. So the next time you walk into a room and notice someone subtly adjusting their posture or behavior, take it as a compliment. It's a clear sign that you're making an impact. Sign 3. Compliments that go beyond casual. Let's talk about compliments. Most people don't go out of their way to compliment someone unless they genuinely mean it. And when it comes to women, compliments can often be a quiet yet powerful way of showing interest. Think about it. When a girl takes the time to mention your style, your scent, or even the way you carry yourself, it's not just a random observation. Think about it. When a girl takes the time to mention your style, your scent, or even the way you carry yourself, it's not just a random observation. Comments like, "I like your cologne," or "That jacket looks great on you," might sound simple, but there's usually more to them than meets the eye. Here's the thing. Compliments are rarely handed out for no reason. They're often a way of acknowledging something that stands out in a positive way. And when a girl goes out of her way to compliment you, it means you've made an impression. It's not just about what you're wearing, it's about how you wear it. It's about the confidence you exude and the energy you bring to the room. For example, imagine you're at a social event, and a girl you've just met says, "I really like your watch, it's unique." On the surface, it might seem like a casual comment, but underneath, it's a way of starting a conversation and showing interest. It's her way of saying, "I've noticed you, and I want to connect." Sign 4. They start conversations for no real reason. On the surface, small talk seems like the most trivial form of human interaction. We ask about the weather, comment on the long line at the coffee shop, or inquire about the time. However, when it comes to attraction, this seemingly insignificant chatter can be a powerful and revealing signal. When a girl goes out of her way to initiate a conversation that feels random, unnecessary, or based on a question she could easily answer herself, it's rarely about the topic at hand. The psychology of the pretext. Think of these random questions as a social permission slip. Approaching someone directly with, "I find you interesting and I want to talk to you," is high stakes and can feel intimidating for both parties. It leaves little room for a graceful exit if the interest isn't mutual. Instead, asking a simple situational question creates a safe pretext. The question itself is the excuse, the Trojan horse carrying the real intent to engage with you. It's a low-risk test. If you give a short, dismissive answer and turn away, she can simply accept the information and move on without feeling rejected. It gauges your openness. On the other hand, if you respond warmly, making eye contact, smiling, and perhaps adding a comment of your own, you've just sent a clear signal that you are open to further interaction. Common types of unnecessary openers to watch for the obvious environmental question. This is the most classic example. She's standing right next to a sign with the event schedule but asks you, "Do you know what time the next speaker is on?" Or she has her phone in her hand but asks you for the time. She might ask, "Is it busy in here today?" When you're both in a crowded room, the question isn't about gathering information, it's about initiating a dialogue. The observational comment. This is a slightly more personal approach. Instead of a generic question, she might comment on something specific to you. "That's a cool t-shirt. Are you a fan of that band?" "I see you're reading book title. I've been meaning to read that. Is it any good?" "Sorry to interrupt, but I love your laptop sticker. Where did you get it?" The minor damsel in distress. This overlaps with a later sign but often serves as a conversation starter. She might ask for help with a trivial task that she is almost certainly capable of doing herself. For example, "Could you help me with this coffee machine? I can never figure it out." Or, "Can you watch my stuff for just 1 second while I grab a napkin?" This creates an instant mini-team dynamic and provides a natural reason to thank you and continue the conversation. The real tell, it's all in the follow-up. The initial question is just the opening gambit. The true sign of her interest lies in what happens after you answer. A person with a purely logistical question will take their answer and be on their way. A person who is interested in you will use your answer as a launchpad for a real conversation. Let's revisit the networking event scenario. She asks about the schedule. You tell her the next session starts at 3 p.m. no interest. "Oh, 3 p.m. great, thanks." She smiles politely and walks away. Interest. "Oh, 3 p.m. great, thanks." She doesn't move, she lingers, holding eye contact and smiling. Then she pivots. "So, which of the sessions have you found most interesting so far?" Or, "Is this your first time at this conference?" Or, "My name is Sarah, by the way." This pivot is everything. She has seamlessly transitioned from her excuse to a genuine conversation about you, her, or a shared experience. She'll ask follow-up questions, share a related personal anecdote, and listen actively to your responses. This demonstrates that her initial goal was never to learn the schedule. It was to learn about you. So the next time someone starts a seemingly random conversation with you, pay close attention. Don't just hear the words, look for the intent behind them. Is her body language open and turned towards you? Does she stick around after her question is answered? Does she make an effort to find common ground? That small talk might just be the prelude to something much more significant. It's her way of knocking on the door to see if you're willing to open it. Sign 5. They seem nervous or giddy around you. Confidence is undeniably attractive, but when it comes to spotting signs of interest, a sudden lack of composure can be far more revealing. When a girl who is typically poised and self-assured suddenly seems nervous, flustered, or overly giddy in your presence, it's one of the most potent and genuine indicators of attraction. This isn't a sign that she's uncomfortable with you, It's a sign that she's hyper-aware of you, and her body is staging a small, involuntary rebellion against her attempt to play it cool. The science of the spark. Adrenaline and awareness attraction triggers a physiological response. Her brain releases a cocktail of chemicals, including dopamine and adrenaline, which creates that butterflies in the stomach feeling. This sudden surge of energy and heightened awareness can manifest in several telling ways. Fidgeting and self-soothing gestures. Notice if she starts playing with her necklace, twisting a ring on her finger, smoothing down her clothes, or tucking her hair behind her ear repeatedly. These are subconscious self-soothing behaviors, physical outlets for the nervous energy you're inspiring in her. She's trying to ground herself because your presence has thrown her off balance. A shift in vocal tone and pace. Adrenaline can tighten the vocal cords. Her voice might jump up a half octave, sound a bit breathy, or she might start speaking faster than usual. Conversely, she might become quieter and more hesitant, struggling to articulate her thoughts as clearly as she normally would. Unprovoked giggles and excessive laughter. If she's laughing at all of your jokes, even the ones you know are mediocre at best, it's a huge sign. Laughter is a powerful bonding tool and a release valve for nervous tension. Clumsiness or fumbling. Has she ever dropped her pen, stumbled slightly, or fumbled with her coffee cup right after you walk up? This adorkable clumsiness happens when her brain is dedicating so much bandwidth to managing the social interaction with you that it temporarily neglects fine motor skills. The baseline theory. It's all about the change. The key to deciphering this sign is to have a baseline for her behavior. If she's naturally a bubbly, high-energy person with everyone, her giddiness might just be her personality. Imagine a colleague who is a sharp, articulate leader in team meetings, commanding the room with confidence. But when you approach her one-on-one by the water cooler, she stumbles over her words, avoids direct eye contact for more than a second, and blushes when you compliment her presentation. That specific change in her demeanor is the undeniable signal. Her usual social armor has been pierced because with you, the stakes feel higher. She cares more about the impression she's making. So the next time you notice a girl acting a little flustered, don't mistake it for awkwardness or a lack of interest. Recognize it for what it is, a powerful, unfiltered broadcast from her subconscious telling you that you have her complete and undivided attention. Sign 6. They ask for help with small, solvable tasks. In an age where people pride themselves on independence, a request for help can be a surprisingly intimate gesture. When a girl asks for your assistance with a minor task, something she could likely handle herself or ask anyone else to do, it's often a cleverly disguised social invitation. It's a low-pressure, socially acceptable way for her to bridge the distance between you, create a moment of connection, and see what you're made of. Engineering. A moment of connection. Think of these small requests as manufactured opportunities. She is intentionally creating a scenario where you have a reason to interact. It's not about her inability to complete the task. It's about her desire to involve you. This strategy is brilliant because it serves multiple purposes at once. It's a test of character. Her request is a subtle probe. Will you be kind and helpful? Or will you seem annoyed and dismissive? Your reaction gives her immediate feedback on your personality. A warm, willing response is a massive green light. It creates instant rapport. By helping her, you are immediately cast in a positive, capable role. It gives her a natural reason to thank you profusely and smile, warming up the interaction. It's a proximity play. Many of these requests inherently require you to get closer to her. From task to talk, the all-important transition example at the gym. She asks for your help putting a heavy weight back on the rack. After you help, instead of just saying thanks and putting her headphones back in, she takes them off and says, "Thank you so much, you're a lifesaver. I'm always so bad with that last set. How long have you been working out here?" Example at the office. She asks for your help with a tricky spreadsheet formula. Once you've shown her, she doesn't just turn back to her work. She leans back in her chair, smiles, and says, "You're a genius with this stuff. I owe you one. So, got any big plans for the weekend to celebrate being a spreadsheet wizard?" These small, seemingly insignificant requests are deliberate acts of engagement. She is handing you a perfect, socially sanctioned opportunity to talk to her. So the next time a girl asks for a small favor, don't just see it as a task. See it as an opening. She's not just asking for your help, she's asking for your attention. Sign 7. You're always invited to hangouts or group events. Here's a big one. If you're consistently getting invited to hangouts, group dinners, or casual meetups, especially when those invites come from girls, it's not just a coincidence. It's a clear sign that your presence leaves a lasting impression. Think about it. People don't go out of their way to include someone unless they genuinely enjoy having them around. And when it comes to women, those invites often mean they find you fun, interesting, or even a little magnetic. Whether it's your energy, your charm, or just the way you carry yourself, you're bringing something to the table that they don't want to miss out on. And it's not just about the invites, it's about the vibe when you're there. Do people seem genuinely happy to see you? Do the girls in the group go out of their way to talk to you or sit near you? These are all signs that your presence is appreciated, and maybe even a little sought after. So if you find yourself regularly getting invited to events, take it as a compliment. It's not just friendliness, it's attraction wrapped in social warmth. You're making an impression, and people want you around because of it. Sign 8. Their friends whisper and look your way. Attraction doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it shows up in whispers, side glances, and quiet laughter. One of the most obvious signs that you're turning heads is when a group of girls starts acting differently the moment you enter the scene. Here's what this might look like. You walk into a room, and suddenly you notice a group of girls looking your way. They lean into each other, whisper something, and then giggle or smile. It's not random, it's playful interest. For example, imagine you're at a party or sitting at a coffee shop. You notice a group of girls nearby, and soon, two of them are whispering while one subtly glances your way. Then, they all sneak another quick peek and laugh. That's not just coincidence, that's attraction in action. What's happening here is that one of them finds you attractive, and now her friends are in on it. Girls often share those exciting little moments with each other, and if you're the topic, you'll feel it, even from across the room. It's like a group effort to acknowledge your presence without being too obvious. And here's the fun part. If you catch one of them looking at you and she quickly looks away, that's a surefire sign that you've made an impression. It's like she's trying to play it cool, but her reaction gives her away. So the next time you notice a group of girls whispering and glancing your way, don't ignore it. It's one of the clearest signs that you're an eye catcher, and someone in that group is definitely into you.